So bulls have nonstop pump with low T. Is that why this is such a struggle for them? It's a struggle because the market maker's selling the flat tape. This is like a bitch, right? Like if you were a bull right now and you wanted to pump the market, this is the worst possible situation you could find yourself. And if we fall below 42.26, it gets even worse. Hence the resistance at that level. All right, I'm done with my support call. Hey Dork, I told you the employment data would be bearish. Give me kudos. I am your stock father. Can we rewrite the Outcast song, but for the stock market? Stock daddy. The bulls really do suck. I wish I was one of the really ballsy bears yesterday that just sold overnight 65 Cs and didn't give a. Can you explain flat tape? Well, it doesn't come up very often because the market maker is very rarely in this situation. But basically, if we're trading flat, right? No positive or negative price action at all. The market maker is selling. If you overhold your puts, you are not pimping. I feel like I don't have enough exposure to anything now. I'm out of my calls and I'm out of my puts. I have like some longer dated stuff. Can you go over what will happen tomorrow with the data release? Like how far up on good news, how far down on bad? Realistic view on what will actually happen. So bulls want to see softening, but not like catastrophic declines in non-farm payrolls, right? So a mild reduction in non-farm payrolls from the prior month, right around the forecasted range, I think it was like 150K, would probably be the sweet spot for bulls. If they get that, I mean, maybe we get up to like 4280. I really don't think it's gonna drive. Maybe 4300, depending where we close today. Like if we close today above 4250, maybe 4300 for tomorrow. But like it's not gonna last long, right? The bulls are really aggressively trying to leverage this like labor data window. And we saw them do that with the ADP data yesterday, which generally is not a very important data point because it gets revised like three more fucking times before you get a final number. And by the time it's fully been revised, it's probably going to be up or very close to the prior month, and the like 50% loss in new employees is not likely to persist, right? So like the ADP data was a strange thing to bounce on, but just an excuse I think for like broader risk conditions and a narrative to push so you can get people to maybe buy. Like obviously, the only strong point in our economy failing is not bullish, right? Like the strong labor market was the core thesis of the bull case for the entirety of this year, and now they're rooting for it to fail. And so like if we get like catastrophically bad unemployment and non-farm payroll data tomorrow, like say unemployment's up, you know, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.6, and non-farms are way the fuck down. That's just really bad, right? Like they're it doesn't matter if the Fed doesn't raise rates again. That's just bad for the economy. That's like a massive reduction in GDP over the next year. So I mean, yeah, you don't and productivity. So you don't really want they don't really want the data to be too bad. They just need to be soft enough that they can convince people to buy and they can de-risk a little because they know that the September like CPI and PPI are going to be fucked. And once like September CPI and PPI come out, there's really not going to be any case for the Fed not doing anything into the end of the year, right? So they're just kind of trying to like leverage this window to risk off as much as they can. Are they only selling the flat tape in a negative delta gamma? And is it buying when we're positive? No, so it's an effective charm. Like the charm on the chain is net negative, right? At this point. And it gets even more negative if we fall below 42.26. So basically with the passage of time, they're selling their delta hedge. Part of this is like the over concentration of short dated positioning, which you know decays faster because it's theta, the rate of theta decay is higher, and it's also an effect of the price we're at. So basically tomorrow we're ending the day around 4,300 or 4,200 with likely nothing in between. I mean, if the data's bad enough 4,200 could be lost. Although I'd think they'd try to hold it into the weekend. But yeah, I think tomorrow will drive some price action one way or the other.